Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Embers. Thank you all for tuning in. We have a really cool guest, actually, first female guest, so that's pretty cool. Her name is
Oh,
Kelsie McCullough, a friend of Bruce Marciano, who we had on a couple months ago. So excited to just kind of bond off of that, build off of that. But sounds like she's gonna be in the producing, directing side of things. If I'm right, Kelsie, you can kind of
yes.
help me clean that up if I need to. But
And
yeah,
writer.
thank you for joining us. But yeah, it's go ahead and give us a little brief introduction of who you are and what you're dabbling in. So
For sure, for sure. So, hi everyone. I'm Kelsey. I'm actually from Canada, Toronto, so the big A Canada. I don't know. I live like in a little small town called Lindsay, just a little bit outside of Toronto, actually. But I like to say Toronto just because people don't know where Lindsay is sometimes.
yeah.
So, and yeah, so I'm a filmmaker. I started film like when really young, actually. I started out in acting first. My mom was an actor, and she got me into acting.
Cool.
And it started off like in a small theater in my hometown. And I used to be a really, really shy kid. So my mom thought it would be great to just put me into the wolves and put me in theater and have to
Yeah.
be on a stage. So that's how it started. But I'm really grateful for it because it grew me a lot and it helped me kind of get out of my comfort zone. And I made amazing friends, like still friends with everyone that I did theater with. And then I kind of transitioned more into film when I was about 10 years old, and I got my first agent. And basically, I just auditions after auditions, and I really fell in love with with acting, maybe a little too obsessed with acting, where I just wanted to make it as an actor. I just wanted to be on film sets and I don't know, be on Disney one day, even
Right.
it's so I don't care about anything, but still one of those things I really wanted to do. And later on, when I was like in high school, acting became really hard because in that transition, just the rejection was really hard. A lot of insecurities. I also really didn't care that much about prioritizing like God, which I should have. When I was acting, my parents put me into acting classes, and they were falling on Sundays. So it really um, was it made me like have to decide: do I go to church on Sunday or do I go to my acting class? It's like 10 a.m. And I really wanted to do the acting, so I just put aside and I was like, it's fine. I don't have to go to church on Sunday. And I started just going to these acting classes every Sunday. But it really made my relationship with God like not as close as it was when I was younger. And it, when I went to college later on, I decided to kind of put the acting aside and focus more on the other side of acting. And it was more writing, producing, directing, editing, all the behind the scenes stuff because I just felt like acting wasn't maybe somewhere I was being called. I was doing so many auditions and, you know, no role booking, and it was very made me feel really like insecure in it. And
Right.
later on, when I got into school and college, I put my full focus on, writing my own films. I was always a writer. I started writing scripts in high school, and I even wrote like a play that I put on in my high school, and that's when I kind of really pursued it. When I went to college, it was really tough because I came from a small town, so it was more in the city where I went to college, and it really opened my eyes to different like groups and like the LGBT group. I didn't really have that in my town, so it was very new for me. My town I would consider very Baptist church, like small town, I would say. So it was different. I was making a lot of friends in the LGBT group in college, and that's kind of when I uh, was really questioning also like my faith a little bit.
Yeah. Hmm.
um, and kind of trying to understand, who God is to me. Because I grew up in a Christian home, and my parents were both like atheists. Didn't really were kind of like didn't really know who God was until in their like mid 20s, till after they got married, and then they grew us and my sisters up as Christians. And so when I went to college, it was my first kind of bubble of like, I don't really have to like also go to church myself, because I'm not under the same roof as my parents. So, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. So I really struggled a lot, kind of understanding my identity and kind of where God wanted me to be, as a Christian in the film industry. And it was honestly really scary to even pitch a film about God to my professors and stuff. So I never fully had the courage to do it, but I really wish I did. So yeah. I feel bad. I feel like I'm like going off
No,
like
no, 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 no,
No,
your
no.
question.
No,
it
nothing. No,
was
that's great.
captivating.
That's
Oh my
great.
gosh.
No, 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 no. You're fine.
Yeah.
That's so powerful though, to like have that. I don't know. You just kind of. I guess I can address like, so when you were like pursuing those acting roles and whatnot, was it like harsh feedback where that made you feel insecure, or was it more like you had higher hopes, or the fact that you just weren't getting it and so you was just kind of like that you're breaking yourself down, you know what I mean? Like what was it that
Yeah.
was kind of like, you know?
Um, when I started acting, at first it was kind of fun for me, because
Hmm.
my mom had did it for years. Like she started out like doing acting, and she went to Banff School of Fine Arts too. So my whole family is very creative. And my mom's also a singer too. And so when I got into acting at first, it was kind of like fun. It was also a way for I think my mom, just to kind of get me out of like that shyness feel a little bit. But I feel for me, when I got older, more like insecurities, not feeling like I'm good enough. I had a lot of those negativities. It's honestly, those thoughts are from the devil. Like it was honestly the devil trying to suppress me down a lot. And I think it was more of an idol. Like acting became like more of an idol to me, where I just wanted to pursue it so much, that I wasn't surrendering it to God at all. Like, acting is can be such a beautiful um journey, if it's like, through God and stuff, and you're putting God first and at the pedestal of it, because I I was putting it more for myself. Like I just wanted people to be like, "Wow, she's in this show." You know what I mean? This
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
Oh,
for
look.
sure.
It was more about like the fame, and that's
Mhm.
really not a good mindset to have. Because I'm just a human being, and at the end of the day, like I'm no better than like anybody else. Like we're all we're all the same. We're all equal to God's eyes. So, for me, when I was in high school, like that's where my idol was, oh, I just wanted to, be famous. I wanted my friends to think I was cool. It was also a cool thing, like to say, oh, I was on set this day, when you go back to like class the next day in high school, like,
Right.
and people were like, "Whoa, what was it like?" And um, I think when I went to college, that really transitioned, and COVID helped a lot too, to get back into the mindset of like, what's more important here than that. So yeah.
Yeah. I really resonated with what you said about when you went to college, it was your first experience outside of the bubble of your hometown. Because I'm from the Bahamas, and the Bahamas is like super duper Christian nation. Like we learn the Bible in high school. Like that's literally like a class that we take. Like my parents were where there were elders in my church back in the Bahamas. So they raised me and my brother as Christians as well. And then when I moved to the US and went to Florida and I was experiencing all these people from different backgrounds, I was like, wow, like I am so tiny. Like the Bahamas is so tiny and there are so many different perspectives and stuff of the world that I just wasn't used to. And for me, parts of it were like kind of like how you said, like I didn't really feel super comfortable just being openly Christian anymore. And I straight away myself, I stopped going to church and I started like conforming to peer pressure in certain areas and stuff. But eventually I found my way back to God. It actually happened, yeah, I would say at the end of college, like maybe like the year after I graduated, or like the few months after I graduated, that like year window where I actually like finally made the decision to really surrender my life to Jesus and give him my all. So like what was that experience for you, or what was like that point in your life where you realized, okay, maybe I'm straying away, or I'm, figuring out my place and where I stand in my relationship with God, but I want to go deeper. Like what did that look like for you?
That's a good question. For me, yeah, college was a a big part of my life, like where I learned a lot about myself, and kind of my purpose too. Because when I started college too, I still had that kind of mindset that this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what I'm meant to do, and but not actually really fully understanding why God is putting me here and why God is wanting me to pursue this. Um, but actually, I'm going to mention Bruce because I read his book during college. My mom gave it to
Mhm.
me, and he's had a quote in there that it still resonates with me so much. And it was basically that filmmaking um, is ministry, and you know how music right now is so huge for Christians right now. It's worship.
Mhm.
um, and I'll mention my sister a little bit. She started off in the music industry, like in the secular music industry, and she was put down so much by producers. She was even signed by like a record label, but it was pursuing the wrong things. And she realized that honestly, God wanted her to use her music for worship and for Him. And for me, like, it's been a journey of really understanding. I don't want to just start writing like, scripts just because it's going to benefit me. But how is it going to benefit others? There's so much media out there right now that, like, that you can honestly, as a Christian, you can tell the devil is working so strongly in the like in the film industry. There's things that probably would have been rated R like back then now being rated like 14A. It's
Yeah,
like
that is very true.
I'm
And
like, huh?
yeah, how did
Like
that get by?
swearing is just a normal thing now in like in film and TV. Like, and I mean, as Christians, we probably all slipped up from it too. But and like I feel like and just like sexualization of like women too on like in TV and films and it being like such a normal thing now. How and it really should not be a normal thing. Their show Euphoria, I don't even know. I don't even want to know what that show is, but I
Yeah.
hear so many stories about that show and I'm just like, why is this even being produced? Like,
Yeah,
why do people think it's okay to even be produced? Um, and so for me, just seeing when I became closer to God, like you start seeing more and more and more of, the devil, I guess. Like you start to see more and more of the devil working in this world. And you
Yeah.
kind of
How
start to have
he's
this
how
fire
he's
of
a
like,
deceiver.
yes, yes, you start having this fire that you want to put it down. And when I went to college, like I was probably one of the only Christians in my year, and I was so happy to see other Christians in like other years, but in my year specifically, I was probably really the only one. There was maybe this other girl, but we both didn't really have the guts to even like think of producing like a film that's, you know, Christian based. But I saw so many like, you know, LGBTQ based like stories. There was honestly a girl who pitched like a story about the devil, and I was freaking out inside. I was praying to God. I was like, please, to my profs, do not pick this film.
Yeah.
And you know, horror films, like just so many things that you like in your spirit, it's like why? Like why is this being
Hmm.
produced? It's like how is this benefiting people other than um putting things in their mind that shouldn't be there, you know? Um, and so when I've started like fully, you know, stepping out of myself and really focusing on the Lord and his why he's wanting me to go in the film industry. Honestly, he still might not even fully want me in the film industry, but I have such a strong heart for the film industry and for Christians in the film industry and for, you know, more stories that are redeeming. And it's not necessarily having to be fully Christian stuff, but more redeeming stuff that they used to make, like, you know, in the 80s and
Hmm.
the 90s. And I don't even know what's going on in the film industry right now. So, yeah. So I would say for me, I'm stepping out and really putting God first in every aspect of my career, and not just pursuing things that is something I want to pursue, but fully what God wants to do through me and what He wants me to do. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, don't lose hope. I mean, I would say Christian film is probably booming. It's coming back for
Yeah, for
sure.
Yes.
sure. I mean,
Yes.
Angel Studios is just opened up. I mean,
I Yeah, it gives me hope.
Yeah.
It
yeah,
really
for
gives me
sure.
hope. It is tough though, like as a Canadian though, because we don't have a lot, like we rely a lot on the United States for the film industry here.
Mhm.
Obviously a lot of the stuff that's shot here is United States like based. We have so many shows that film in Toronto that are like Netflix and stuff. But yeah, I would say it is tough because as a filmmaker in Canada, we don't really have like a Christian per se production company. Like we don't have things like Angel Studios or Pureflix
Mhm.
or even this new one that's Wonder Project. I think yeah, Wonder
Yeah.
Project is
Is
called the
that
one that
like
did
for the
House
kids,
of
I think?
David.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
But
yeah,
Great show. The House of David is a great show.
yeah.
It's amazing to see that
I really
coming
like
out.
season one of
Especially
that show.
The Chosen was really boomed like that
Uh-huh.
so
yeah,
well.
absolutely.
Like it's amazing to see that those shows out there. So but yeah, I hopefully would love like even like having like Americans come to Canada and like mentor Canadians into making Christian like film production company in Canada to start helping, you know, because there are a lot of Christian Canadian filmmakers in Canada. It's just like we all haven't come together yet to like, you know, kind of start that. So hopefully one day maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I mean, so do you enjoy being like writing scripts more than you prefer acting? I guess like, or do you have a like? It sounds like you have a preference, obviously,
Yeah.
but
Um, I mean, I still have a love for acting. Act like if someone was to hire me, I would love to. Um, I think I would do it differently though than how I did was in high school. I think I would fully always put God first in the role. And it's like, you know, someone's watching this is going to see a human and relate to any struggle that like the character is going through. And I'm going to mention the House of David, the actor who plays David is incredible in it. And um, he's doing such an amazing ministry in it of portraying David. Even I'm gonna pronounce his name wrong, but the one who plays Jesus in Chosen, Jason
Jonathan Rumi.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
And I think the house
I
is
should
related.
know that. I'm terrible with names. And I told Bruce that. I'm like, I'm terrible with names.
I think David's
Like I
name.
know them. I know them. I'm bad at like knowing
Yeah.
names. But yeah,
Yeah.
Jonathan Rumi, like his portrayal of Jesus is just incredible.
Yeah.
And like he's working a ministry in there too as an actor. But for me, it's tough. I love to write. Like I really do love writing, and I get excited when I write, and especially when like I come up with like a kind of unique, cool scene, it gets me really excited. And it's like I just want to like film this now.
Yeah. Can you
So
see can you see yourself being, because there are like actors who are also like directors at the same time
For sure.
simultaneously. Can you see
yeah.
yourself being like, I don't know, like you make a film or like a series where you cast yourself as the lead actress?
I feel I probably maybe I don't know, like it would be cool to write a script, kind of act and direct it. I would want to like audition people before like
Mhm.
casting myself first, because like I might want it, but maybe someone else might actually might be more fitting for the role. So but yeah, directing, I really do love directing. I have a short film that I did through college that I directed, and it was a lot of fun to do. For directing a huge feature film or TV series, I'm not sure yet. I think I need more training. I'm not going to just put myself and step into those shoes, because as much as I would want to do it, I feel like there's probably someone who might have a little more experience to do it first before me, that I would probably want to like mentor under or something, before I jump directly into that role, because it's a tough job and it's a big role, and you're being a leader, but like you're also having like authority over like your crew and stuff. But I would want to be like a good leader that is actually ready for it. And
Yeah.
like I definitely would love to be like, I always have said this to myself, like if Jesus was directing the film, how would he do it? Like
Mhm.
how would he would
Yeah.
direct these people? And even like with my crew, like I've been a PA myself on sets, and um I've been on some sets that like have amazing directors, and it's like you can, as a PA, go up to the director and chat with them if you want to. Obviously not while everyone's filming, but like during free time, and if there's time, if you want to chat. I hate the idea of sets where they have like this barrier of like a PA who's like, oh, the lowest of the lows in the crew cannot talk to the director because, it's the director. I don't love that mindset in the film industry, because I feel like everyone's role is important no matter like what role you have. It's even in the church and in ministry, like every role is important. God has that role for a certain person, that certain place. So I feel if I was ever to directing, I want to have like a good heart with it, and also I would always want to think of how would Jesus direct this film and how would Jesus lead
Oh, yeah.
these people in this film. So
That's
yeah.
good. Excuse my ignorance, but what does PA stand for?
No, it's all good. A PA is a production assistant.
Okay.
So like people would say it's kind of like a lowly job where you're like running errands for the producers, directors, like
Okay.
water bottles, like you're it's basically you're helping in any way you can with different like areas
Mhm.
on set. I've been on a PA on a feature film that was for TIFF actually. Um, I was only on it for like maybe a week or so, but I met the DOP and he was really kind enough to say, if you want some experience, we need some more PAs. Do you want to come on this film? And I was like, sure. And it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. But yeah, it was a lot of grunt work where you're just moving furniture. So some of it was like for production, and then some of it was like you're helping craft and setting up craft tables, and a lot of it's like, wow, this isn't filmmaking. I'm basically just
I'm
Mhm.
your
well,
pair of
you're
hands.
helping the crew, but you're not actually getting to be creative. So like be part of the creative part, but it's still an important job, and I still would say that to anyone who is a PA on set that they it's a good job and you guys are doing amazing if you're doing it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Yeah.
good experience, probably getting to chat with many different types of people in like people that like with different roles within the entire production
Yeah.
and just learn or kind of like get firsthand experience of what it's like to be an actor, actress, or
Yeah.
someone working in the crew or someone like you get to observe how like the movie, the film or whatever is being directed and everything. So I'm sure it's just a good overall experience. Could probably like um help you to like pretty much focus on what you enjoy most, um what you want to do specifically in that setting.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
So do you have, obviously you probably have ideas, but what are some ideas if you feel like sharing that you for movies that you want to have either have
Um,
written or want to write or want to direct or want to produce, like whatever the
I
terminology
yeah.
is, but
I would love to share it to you guys. Like I have a lot of ideas. I probably won't share too much,
I
just
understand.
because it's a little confidential. Not that I care if someone like I don't think anyone would steal it if they were listening. It's more just it's in the works.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, like obviously like the one I've had in mind for Bruce is still in the works. So
Right, right.
um, and I do have another, it's actually a TV series idea that I actually have two TV series ideas, but the one, maybe I will share this one, just because,
That's entirely
I
up
will
to
share
you.
once.
Yeah,
I'll
I was
share
gonna
one.
okay.
But I wanted to share, it's a documentary idea, actually. I do love also documentary storytelling and sharing like true stories. But it's actually an idea that came when I was having a chat with my uncle. So my uncle has, I don't know how to describe kind of what he has, but he has slower, I don't even know how to describe what he has. But basically, like he lost oxygen when he was a baby, so like his development's slower, so it's hard for him to um, understand functionally, and harder for him to keep and have normal conversations with people. And so for years, like it's been always tough to kind of have a deep conversation with him just because he's in that like spectrum, I guess I would say. For years as like as his niece, we always like I would always have like little conversations, little jokes with him. But this one time, he loves Jesus. Like he is a man that just loves Jesus. And it's interesting because for someone like on his spectrum, like it's like, how do they see Jesus? Like
Hmm.
obviously people think that he sees Jesus differently from I would say like functioning people like us, like I guess. And but this one time I was chatting with him and he was fully talking to me about Jesus and how he sees Jesus and how he thinks heaven's going to be like and like where my grandparents are and um I was kind of joking around with him. I was like, "Oh, you can he's at a I guess an older age home now." And I was like, "Oh, you can like chat with your staff members about Jesus and stuff that your caretakers about Jesus." And he's like, "Oh, I talk about my to my caretakers all the time about Jesus." And I was like, "That's amazing." Like
That is super cool.
it's so amazing. And um it was just really interesting for me because I really wanted to study it more and study understanding people that might be on any spectrums or anything, and kind of the way that they see Jesus. They see Jesus really like how we all should go and see Jesus is like going to see Jesus um, as like a childlike faith. And so my documentary idea was basically kind of more about seeing how these different groups of people that might have like even people that might were born with not being able to walk or born with like different and just the way that they see Jesus and how they are a blessing to the world and stuff. People with like autism, people with
Mm.
uh, yeah, just how they're all just a blessing and not something that shouldn't be overlooked. But honestly, they have. I feel like they should not be overlooked in the church, and I feel like they might
Yeah.
be a little overlooked in the church because there is something there with them, and they see Jesus in a beautiful way, and I think that's yeah.
Yeah, very bold faith for sure. That is one
Yes, they
thing
have
that
bold
you,
faith.
yeah, like that is cool. It's something I've never really considered, but that's a fair point. Like, I don't know, like when people mention something, you unintentionally, at least for me, think that they're like on the same wavelength of you. So you don't always break it down like, oh, they might be like have this whole different vision of like what heaven might be or how they see Jesus or all these things. And that's really cool to like take a step outside of the box, if you will. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And how kind of like those groups like see Jesus, like how those groups and how God meets them too. They I think God meets them and because it's always a question of like people that might not have the same function as like us like how do they actually understand who God is? Do they understand the Bible? Do they understand like what the Holy Spirit is? Like how can they understand that, And I fully believe that Jesus meets them in a beautiful way.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, for real. That's so cool.
I hope
Yeah.
something in the future, maybe. It's just finding the right people, maybe to come together and just trying to figure out like how I would do it. Because it is definitely a tougher type of film to do, just because um, like to see what we could get out of it. Because obviously, I those people in those groups might not feel comfortable even like being in front of cameras or anything like that. So it's just more of a question of like, should I do this? Like,
Right,
but I feel
right.
like it is also from the Lord because I feel like the Lord is wanting to make it more known, like how they. I feel like they are very overlooked in the church. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I think that would be powerful for them, but also powerful for, people, um, like in the church to see the kind of faith they have. Because like us, for example, we have a guy at our church who's blind and has been blind since birth. And I remember when I first met him, like I asked him, like, have you ever like asked God for healing in your eyes? And he was like, well, I mean, it would be nice if I could get that healing in my eyes, but I was born this way, and I believe that I was born with everything that God wanted me to be born with. And he doesn't let being blind stop him from anything. Like he's more consistent in the gym than most people. He like has like a whole radio station. He's fluent in Spanish. Like he is like really on top of the world, really, like without even being able to see. And like whenever you ask him, like if you were to ever ask him about his blindness, he never complains about it once, and he never really acts as if he's disabled or
Yeah.
anything.
Wow,
So
that's
like
good.
I don't know, like me as someone who obviously was born being able to see, I would have expected someone who was blind to be like, I'm still waiting on God for that miracle. But he was like, well, I never really considered myself as needing a miracle, you
Oh
know?
wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing. There's
yeah.
actually a scene in The Chosen that also helped me with this idea too. If you've guys seen The Chosen,
I've
I'm
seen it, yeah.
trying to remember the episode, but it's where little John asks Jesus why he hasn't healed him yet, because he
Mhm.
has like, and Jesus literally says, because you have like to show that you still have faith in me, even though you haven't been healed, is just like even a greater thing because to love the Lord even through our suffering um,
Yeah.
is really something strong, and you
Yeah,
only really
Yeah.
yeah. So
that
yeah,
was a really touching scene.
it was a touching scene.
You're gonna make me start crying
Yeah,
That's
again.
kind of the films that, like, I'm hoping there's more of because honestly, the Holy Spirit's honestly working through film. So yeah.
Yeah.
is like when like scripting or I don't know. I don't. Just gonna try and relay a message because I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no,
But I
good.
guess like, is the goal to capture some form of emotion, like whether it's sadness, anger, like get a reaction out of fans? Is that like a purpose behind filmmaking, or is it more or less like capture the plot and the essence? You know what I mean? Like, this might be a dumb question, but
No, no, it's all good. For me, for me, honestly, like I really do believe film can be used for like missions and stuff, and like social media is already used for that, as so many people are like sharing their testimonies like on TikTok or Instagram, and people being moved by their testimonies and then accepting Jesus through it. And so it's like I feel like filmmaking is also a way of reaching people in a newer way, and I feel more so that if someone was to watch it and to give their life to Jesus
Mhm.
because of the film, not just because of like, oh, this was so amazing, this is my favorite actor kind of thing, I think then I've done my work. Like I want it more that they watch it and they can feel the Holy Spirit through it and be moved. And yeah, and I feel Christians are no one really understands like what it is to be a Christian, or like I feel like Christians are put down a lot because there's a lot of church hurt there. So I feel showing more of like, you know, what the church is like and showing the community is really
Mhm.
important. Um, there is a scene in I think Jesus Revolution. Oh my gosh, that film.
Mhm.
That is like that film made me cry. I don't know if you guys seen it. Jesus
I
Revolution.
haven't. I'm not familiar.
But the baptism scene was just beautifully done, and also just showing like the joy and the people coming into church and worshiping, and just showing that for the people that are too scared to even step into a church, to show, hey guys, like the church is not a cult.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus is a relationship, not just a religion. So trying to
yeah.
come that and show that more to people, and maybe a way we can show that through, I feel like music is a beautiful way. Worship, there's a generation that's just hungry for music and the heart. They're honestly, I feel like this generation are all worshipers.
Mhm.
um and so yeah, for film, I feel more I would want to have the person kind of react in a way that they want to give their life to the Lord. So, yeah.
Cool. That's such a good answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
That's from the Holy Spirit, not me, guys.
that's for
Yeah.
sure. That's so
Amen.
I've been
good.
like
That's
trying
so
so hard to like not be too nervous on this because
Yeah.
I'm like,
no, no,
oh
no.
gosh.
No, no, that's so good because like I don't know, that's such an answer you don't expect, but like that you're walking with the Lord by that answer, obviously, instead of like saying like, I want someone to cry when they see my film, or like, uh, have some sort of emotional reaction. You're just like, I just hope that they give their life to God, and that's like, it's such a good like steward. So that's super cool. That's super cool.
Yeah. Um, so I remember at the beginning you said that you kind of wanted to, like, you were more into acting like as when you were smaller, like you had some dreams to maybe act at Disney one day. Um, so what were some of the films or productions you were involved in, like when you were younger? Like what like
Okay.
inspired you to get into acting or
Yeah.
pursue acting or
Oh, to
making?
pursue it? Okay. Well, my favorite film when I was younger was Narnia.
Oh, yeah,
So when I
same.
was, yeah. So, which is hilarious. So when I was like, I think when I was like 10 or something, I remember watching Narnia, and I just wanted to be in the world because I loved to play pretend and just kind of um, even like not outside of acting, I was always a kid playing pretend with my friends, or just making up stories. Like children are storytellers, to be honest. Like they're all always love to play and like make up stories and stuff. So I watched Narnia and I was like, Mom, I want to go to Narnia. I want to Narnia. Um, and
Climbing
so
in
that's
a
what I loved about
closet.
filmmaking, because you're playing pretend and you get to kind of live in this kind of cool, like fantasy world or something
Mhm.
like that, and the fun of it. And I also just fell in love with theater in the community, and just getting to get so close with my castmates, and really having to be so vulnerable and put ourselves out there in front of an audience is nerve-wracking. But I fell in love with theater, and it's the rush when you come off a stage or something, like it's so much fun. And then kind of theaters brought me into film, when I told my mom, Mom, I want to actually be in film. And then my mom got me my first agent, and kind of the rest was there. And I auditioned for really crazy stuff. My first ever audition actually was for this horror film called Mama. And my mom was like, if you get this, you're not actually going to watch it, because no way you're watching this.
That's
I was
funny.
like supposed to play like this. I forget the character's name, but I was auditioning as like the younger sister, and basically, um, people probably know the film called Mama, but I was basically supposed to like be living, I think it was like in a forest or something, and this like creature was like my mom, and then someone finds us and then adopts us, and then this mom comes back and attacks the family. And
That's
Mhm.
wild.
it
That's
was wild.
crazy.
It was a wild audition. They made me crawl around on the floor, and I think the reason why I know the reason why I didn't get that audition was because I started laughing my head off, probably because I was crawling on the phone and I had to pretend to like eat things. And my mom was so happy I actually didn't get that audition. And you know what? To this day, I am also glad I didn't get that, because that would have been a crazy film, and who knows? Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but my first time on set, I was actually it was actually a docudrama. So I was playing this like it was a real life story. It was actually an American story, so it was like my sister got murdered, which is great. And then after that, I kept
That's just
booking
great.
more shows like that, and I'm like, I have a role of just keep booking murder shows. I don't know why. My favorite role though that I booked, which was fun, but also at the same time that probably is not good. It was another one of those docudramas called See No Evil, actually, and maybe people have probably seen it. But I was actually playing a girl who was 15 who murdered her stepmom.
Oh,
So
Nice.
I
wow.
was the murderer at that time, and it was fun. And I watched the audition, and I'm like, that maybe that's why I looked so scary. I was like something, it was bad. It was bad. Anyway, it was fun. This one scene we did, and I'll put it into details just because this is filmmaking and it was crazy. But I was like, there was a scene where I was stabbing like the mom, I guess, and they had like this like this blanket thing in front of me that I was supposed to stab, but it was supposed to like it was like
Oh,
this blood
yeah.
clot thing where they
Mm.
squirt the blood on you, basically.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible. And I didn't love it because like I had this gross stuff all over me after. But my favorite part was when the director stopped me and was like, "That's not how you're supposed to stab someone." And I just was thinking in my head, staring at him like,
What do you
"How do you
mean?
know how to
Are you a
stab someone,
professional at
bro?"
this? Do we need to do it? I need to make a
So
phone call real quick. Yeah,
yeah.
that's kind of crazy.
So, that was my favorite role to this day, because I got to play a psychopath and it was fun, but also I'm
That's so
not wanting
cool.
to say that I am a psychopath, but my acting coach actually one time was saying how we need to find like in our roles we need to find how we relate to them, or how to just random things. And I was like, I really hope I don't relate to like a psychopath.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
keep that over here.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe not
And
this role. Other roles, sure, but not this one.
Yeah.
so that was probably one of my fun times in acting. But yeah, I was praying to God the entire time. I was like, please. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's cool to hear that your inspiration for even going down that road was still like a Christian film, like Narnia,
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
that is
like
cool.
true.
that like the foundation was always there. So that's cool.
I think when I was younger, I probably didn't really fully understand that it was a Christian film, but now that I'm older, it's kind of cool. Yeah, you're right to see that it was a Christian film that I fell in love with. That was kind of cool to see how it was a Christian story, but then how they made it into something for everyone to be able to watch, you know?
Hmm.
So, and I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
that's what a lot of like Christian filmmakers like should continue doing is trying to make films in a way that other people would want to go see and watch and kind of have like those little hints in there like
Yeah, because
Yeah.
when you think of Narnia, like I don't really, I mean, I've always been like in a Christian family, so I guess I've always watched it
Right.
with that in mind. But there are a lot of people who like Narnia who aren't Christian. So I just wonder like what that revelation is like when, you fall in love with a story and then you realize that the story is actually just the story of Jesus, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, that's cool to think about. Like you can make uh really like just stories for your kids, stories for adults with these
mhm,
Christian themes in them without explicitly like saying they're Christian, and people fall in love with those type of stories, and then that ministry of like, well, that's actually the story of Jesus, or this is actually like a Christian based story, or like, based on like a true story of like some Christian person or something. Yeah, that's cool. We do need to get back to that. I'm not
yeah,
really aware of like any films that are like that out like that are currently being made or currently being released. I know a lot of like the recent Christian movies have been like, you know, David, like that kids David movie that came out recently, or the King of Kings movie, or The
Hmm.
Chosen, House of David, that are actually literally like aiming to retell those stories. But yeah, we need a
Like an actual movie
like
that
we
is for like young adults in
yeah. What
that
what
age.
generation is this? Gen Alpha? We need a Gen Alpha Chronicles of Narnia type
yes.
story.
I
They
think they are remaking it. I did hear
Oh,
that
really?
are they
just look
really?
it up. Yeah, I don't think they're remaking like I think they're remaking like the other books, like the Magician
Oh,
Nephew.
yeah.
Like I don't think they're going
Because
to
they
the
made
old
it to the Dawn
Because they are.
Treader, didn't they? And then they stopped after that.
yeah. Because I know
Yeah.
they're also doing Harry Potter. So, and
They
that's
are
like,
doing a Harry Potter series, which I don't know if I'll watch,
yeah,
um, but yeah, that would be cool. Because I know Narnia has, I don't know how many books, but it has way more than three,
it
and then
has,
they
I
made
think,
three movies.
Yeah, I know it's
seven
a
books.
lot. Yeah, I
It's a
know it's a
lot of
decent chunk.
books. And there's a lot of different stories. Like, it's not just the four siblings. I think there's like other stories in there. But yeah, like when you mentioned like also like Narnia, I think they portray Aslan like a beautiful way. Like the lion, they portray
Hmm.
him in such a compassionate
Yeah,
way. That is who Jesus is. And I think a lot of people who aren't Christian, it's hard for them when they hear Jesus, probably because, the devil's in this world. But when
Yeah.
they hear Jesus, they automatically think, oh, a judging God, when he's actually a merciful God. And so I mean he is the great judge overall, like obviously in the end
Hmm.
times he's the great judge at the end, but not just I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, it's like a sin
they
problem.
lean into that a bit too
Yeah, they
much.
lean into
Yeah,
it
Yeah.
like, oh, it's a sin problem, but it's honestly it's not really like a sin problem. It's a pride problem. It's more of the separation
amen.
of like not having God. And because we're honestly, when you are a Christian too, you're still a sinner. We're always having to still continuously like surrender and um put ourselves towards the Lord, you know? But because of what Christ did on the cross, like we're able to have eternal life with him, we're able to have a relationship with him. And I feel a lot of people in this generation, and I feel bad to put in this group, but the LGBT group they're the judgmental people too.
Yeah.
They love to judge us and think that we're judging them, and it's a contradictory like
Yeah.
topic and
Yeah.
stuff. And
There's
it's
a
a really tough topic, and I understand this generation is very tough.
Yeah.
But it's more trying to, instead of pointing at their sin, we should point them, you know, towards God.
right.
And
Yeah.
are
That,
actually closer to God. When you draw closer to God, that's when things start breaking off in your life and you start having those convictions. Because it's hard to convict someone when they don't have the Holy Spirit or God in their life. It's just hard as a Christian. You like we can't we have to like
You
lean
start
on.
justifying everything you
Yeah.
do and you see that you're doing right in your own eyes. And then, yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I get what you're saying for sure.
Yeah.
yeah. What I like to say is that love, like the love of God, is both grace and truth. And I feel like a lot of times people focus on one or the other. Like there are people who might overemphasize grace and, you know, because God loves me, how I am, like that you start making excuses to not shed your flesh and not shed off your sins. And then there are people who overemphasize the truth, and they are just so quick to judge people, so quick to condemn people. But you see the example of Jesus, someone who reached out to sinners and ate with tax collectors and, people um, who were not like initially like people who believe in God or who live godly lives. He still ate with them and still befriended them, but he also called them to repentance while doing it, and I feel like I think the Apostle Paul talks about correcting people with gentleness, and I think that's why I really like the way that they portrayed Aslan in Chronicles of Narnia, because he is a lion. Like he is literally like the most fearsome creature in like that world. Like, and he's a really big lion too. Like he's not like just regular sized lion. Like he's really big compared to like a lot of the creatures. And they do a really good job of like showing how much everyone, like his enemies, fear him, and like how, the people who are under him really respect him and revere him. But then like he has such like a gentle voice, and he's always like encouraging, like the siblings, for example. And that's like who Jesus is. Like he is like, that he is humble, meek, and mild, but he's also someone who commands so much respect, and he is, like the judge of the world. He is the only judge of the world. So I feel like he wants us to be like that in a way where we can, extend the same grace to others, that God has extended to us, because we have all fallen short of his glory, and we all have our own walks. We have all have our own coming to Jesus moments where he reached out to us, when we were like trying to stray away from him or trying to live our lives our own way. He still extended grace to us, and he never gave up on us. So we shouldn't give up on anyone. But we also, shouldn't shy away from, telling the truth when we have the opportunity to do it. So that's,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
For sure.
Well, we can do a quick segment if you want to. I don't know if you've heard of blind ranking at all. It's nothing too crazy. So the whole concept of blind ranking is, so I'll give you a movie. We'll do Christian movies, and you have 1 through 5. And then once you put that movie at that said number, it is filled. So you can't put, 3 movies at number 3, and you're not
Yeah.
gonna know what's coming. So it's that last minute towards the end, you're gonna be like, I would redo my whole list. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
no.
what I'm saying is we're just ready to expose you, I guess. So
Oh no.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So
Hopefully you've seen all the movies that
yeah,
Yeah, I hope
I
so
think
too.
most of them are pretty mainstream. I can read them. I can't read them off.
No,
I
because
can't
Um,
read.
then it wouldn't
I'm
be.
not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I'm a filmmaker, but I'm terrible at watching some movies. Like
Okay.
there are people
That's fair.
saying like, "Oh, do you know this like Quentin Tarantino movie?" And I'm like, "What? What? What is
They're
it?"
all Christian
Like all
movies.
my friends at
If
school,
you
like,
don't
yeah.
know one, I do have alternates, or
Yes,
orange I
if you have
can think of one.
alternates, please.
So
Or you could put TV series in there too.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I've definitely, I think, seen most TV series
Okay.
so far. Yes.
Um,
Mhm.
honestly, we can alternate if you want. But so my first one I'll say God's Not Dead. Where do you want to put that? Have you?
Oh, I actually have seen this
Let's
one. Yes,
go.
yes. I actually saw it at camp, at Teen Week at camp when I was younger.
Awesome, awesome.
Okay, I'm trying to remember that movie.
So one being the best, five being the
Wait,
least on the
so
list.
5 is the least and 1 being the best?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't
Okay,
know. Yeah, this is your first
okay. I'm
movie,
gonna put
so
that one at 5 then.
At
At 5.
five.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay. All
yeah.
right.
As
Uh,
a filmmaker, there are some story like lines there that didn't make sense. So
all right. I like it. Behind the scenes type of
yeah,
stuff.
not to
Okay.
say the acting was pretty okay. The acting was pretty okay. But
Okay.
yeah.
What about Passion of the Christ?
I actually haven't seen that one just because of the gore content that
Okay.
apparently is
Yeah,
in
that's
there.
fair.
We can
Yeah.
change it for The
Okay,
Yeah.
The
Chosen.
Chosen.
Yeah, yeah,
The
we can.
Chosen?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, now I'm scared. I feel like I have to put The Chosen at number 1.
Okay.
Okay,
I
yeah.
feel like I
I
have to put it at
agree.
number 1 just because like it's so well done. The writing is just beautiful and the way that they um like adapted kind of like making it into a little bit like adapting the disciples story more into
Hmm.
what it is like it's just well done. I'm just gonna say that well done, best like
Awesome.
amazing
Awesome.
acting,
Yeah.
yes.
Totally agree. I remember when I knew about The Chosen for a couple of years, but I was always hesitant to watch it because I was like, well, is the quality gonna really be there? Like I really want to watch
It's
this story. And then like I watched the first season, like, I don't know if I'm biased because I'm Christian, but this is actually just really good.
really
It's super
good,
good.
yeah.
Super
And
I'm
good.
I
gonna
just kept
say
getting
as
better.
like a filmmaker, like the cinematography I think is still well done, but you can clearly tell they had a budget in season 1
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for this cinematography and the way that it's like filmed now, like it's like they got a budget now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So you can kind of tell like the quality of like the way everything's filmed a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh no! Oh no! I should have put that one number 1.
Really? You put that
Yeah,
over?
because
Okay.
it's like the thing that got me into filmmaking. So
Okay,
like I
Yeah.
that's
would
fair.
feel,
That's fair.
but okay, number 2. Number 2.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Have you seen The Encounter?
I actually haven't, and don't tell
Okay.
me.
It's all right. We can edit that out. It's true.
Edit that out, please. It's fine.
Uh, Oren, do you have something off the top of your head?
Well, House of David then.
There you
You
go.
mentioned
There you go.
Oh,
that.
It's just
Feeling
oh,
down
you're
it's
there.
so
killing you, man.
hard. Because House of David is what I've been like recently watching. I've actually been binge watching with my mom, which is hilarious. And my mom's the type of person that doesn't really like violence, and it's hilarious the amount of sword fighting is actually in that show. And my mom's like, "Wow, it's just sword fighting." And I'm like, "But it's good."
Sword fighting and romantic drama.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. But oh wait, how many do I have left?
You have 3 and
Like
4.
3 and 4? Okay,
Yep.
3.
3. Uh, I'm gonna throw some out if you've seen them. Have you seen Fireproof
I'm trying to
or
remember.
Facing the Giants?
I feel like I've seen Fireproof, but it was like very, very long ago. Like that was
Yeah,
a
I think
very
it's a little bit
old
older.
movie. I'm trying to remember
You seen
remember.
Prince of Egypt?
Yes.
Oh, hey, there we go. We use that one. We use that one.
That one's number 4.
Okay, okay. How do you
Yeah.
feel about your list right now?
Oh.
So
Oh.
chosen one, 2 being the
Narnia.
Narnia, 3 being House of David, 4 being Prince of Egypt, and 5 being God's Not Dead.
5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being God's Not Dead. 5 being I feel like it's
I
solid,
feel like
but
it's
I think
pretty.
it's solid. I
I feel
think
like
it's
it's pretty good.
yeah.
Okay, well, cool.
I think The Chosen still's got to be up there at number one. To be honest, like it's a show about Jesus.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
and it's held up.
Jesus is number one.
It is
So
really good.
yeah,
might be the same way I rank those.
yeah.
I might put Prince of Egypt above House of David, but yeah.
Hmm. Okay. What do you
I
guys
think.
like about Prince of Egypt?
I actually literally just watched it a week ago. I really like the singing in it, and I like the animation for how old it was. Like the whole parting of the Red Sea scene, like to me, just looks incredible. For something that was animated in the 90s. Um,
So
but
true.
it was also like the first like animated Christian cartoon that I had seen that I was aware existed for quite some time.
Mhm.
I think up until I saw King of Kings last year. Um, but yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it when I was a kid, and I watched it a lot, but I have not seen it in a while, so I
Hmm.
cannot. We had the soundtrack when I was a kid, and I do remember the music being fantastic, but I don't really don't remember a whole lot about it. I just remember
I
it being
mean,
really good.
it's the story of Moses.
Yeah, we all know it. Like, there's
Yeah.
no spoilers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually heard that after they do The Chosen, they're looking to make more series. Like they're looking to make a series, I don't know what it will be called, but a series about Moses, an Acts of the
Okay.
Apostles
Yeah.
series, and I think a Joseph series as well.
That'd be cool.
So
Joseph,
I'm
like
really
Joseph, like the amazing Technicolor dream, like that story that, yeah.
yeah. Joseph, yeah, recently went through that story in our Bible study, and
Mhm.
that might be my favorite story of the Old Testament now. It
It's
is so good.
so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Mhm. It's so fun watching stories like the House of David that I've been recently watching. My mom and I've been feeling very convicted while watching it because we're like, wait, was that in the Bible? Did
Yeah.
that happen in the Bible?
I
It's
will,
like,
yeah.
oh no, we should know this story.
Yeah,
So,
when I watched it, I definitely like enjoyed it. Because that's two seasons. I enjoyed season one more because I was more familiar with that part of David's story
mhm.
than the things that happened in season two. For me, in season two, I don't know if you've seen season two.
I did, I did.
Okay.
I
I
just finished it actually, so
Yeah. I
it's
felt like
fresh.
season two was a lot. It really, in my opinion, like kind of overemphasized like all of the like relationship drama,
Right.
romance drama. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this might have happened. I don't know. But in my head, I was like, okay, we kind of get it. Can we kind of like progress in the David
Get over that
timeline?
hump. All right.
But I really like where it ended, and I'm excited for the next season. I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, I think the next season's gonna like it's gonna be him becoming king, so it's gonna be
Mhm.
very intense actually.
Yeah.
And he's on the run now, so
Yeah.
uh it's kind of cool to see his story though. Like it's also kind of cool the way people like have gotten from his story and how they
Mhm.
expanded it. Because obviously, some of it's a little bit of fiction, like some of it didn't actually might have happened. They
Yeah.
just added in just to help with the story progress, but it's interesting what they add in. So, yeah.
Is there a particular book of the Bible that you yourself would love to just encapsulate with film?
With film, okay.
Yeah.
Um, Well, I would love to do a story about a woman in the Bible. I think Deborah's story is really
Mm.
interesting and cool, and I had a thought of calling it like the Song of Deborah and stuff, and just um, seeing how that obviously it's a very short part of the Bible, so it would be tough to put into like a feature film or anything like that, but she has a really interesting story, so. And I mean, there's so many stories of Mary. But it would also be interesting to do like a Mary Magdalene story, you
Oh
know.
yeah. Yeah.
Just some of the like the women in the Bible, I think, not just to say because I'm a woman
And
that
Ruth, Ruth,
Esther.
but just to
Ruth,
show like,
Esther.
you know, God's daughters too, like, and
Yeah,
like
that'd be
how
Absolutely.
God has used
Absolutely.
women in the Bible. So yeah.
That'd be so cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
Ruth, Esther. Yeah, for sure. It'd be so
Yes, definitely Esther too. So
yeah. Did you
yeah.
ever I totally forgot. Were you big into Veggie Tales at all?
Yeah, actually I have a funny story. Um, the sound, one of the sound profs that they don't work at the school that I went to, but they worked on VeggieTales, and I always thought that was so cool
That is
because
cool.
like you worked on
Yeah.
VeggieTales, like what?
It is
It
pretty
is
cool.
cool. Like
So
one of the most memorable episodes of Veggie Tales was the Queen Esther episode because I
right.
remember me and my brother watched that a couple times, and growing up we had a cousin who had to have like an emergency appendix
Oh,
surgery. And I just remember my brother, like we were all in the hospital room. She woke up from, like surgery. First thing she hears is my brother singing the song that Queen Esther sang, like
that's
the VeggieTales song.
hilarious.
So it's like permanently ingrained in my
Yeah, it's in there. It's VeggieTales. I just remember VeggieTales watching it like that we used to have like the VHS tapes. Like I'm
hmm
not that old, but like back then like I was like they my parents still had the VHS tapes, you know? So I'd have rented it from like my church library, and then I just always remember them putting it on during Sunday school, and I think it's funny because I think of VeggieTales and I think of yes, Sunday school. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
definitely watched the Jonah episode at least 30 times. So
yes.
I think I had like two VHS tapes of Veggie Tales at home, and that was one of them, and I watched it a ton. So it's
Mhm.
pretty
yeah.
cool.
If I had to think of like, I guess I haven't really. I think in previous episodes we've talked about how it would be cool to like some animation of the Book of Revelation.
Revelation.
That would be so hard to do though because of how many different interpretations of the story there
Of
are.
the
But I think
Revelation.
a really good one would be Job. I feel like people would love like whether
Oh,
it's
For
like a
sure. For
whether
sure.
it's
yes.
like a live action series of movies or like an
The waiting
animation.
season is tough.
Like it would be, I think that would be really
It
good.
would just, yeah, just the trials and then the reward of just like the suffering to see that go through, and then just
Mhm.
the benefit at the end. It would be, you could do that so many ways, but I think with the quality that the Chosen has gone about it, it would be outstanding. I would
It would be amazing. It's so cool to see the technology like now, like
for
in
sure.
film, and how much it's advanced because definitely there's like just cinematography, like the way visual can
Hmm.
honestly move people without words. Like I've always learned as like a script writer to do more action and visual than just writing dialogue of endless dialogue because it shows more, like it moves people more, you know? So
hmm
yeah, yeah, for sure. Mhm.
So do you have like a natural eye for like this is like a lame example, but like bad CGI or whatever, you know what I mean? Like you're like, oh, that's awful. You know what I
Actually,
mean?
it's interesting because of AI now. But it's interesting because it's hard to tell what AI is and like and what's not, I feel. But my mom and I we were watching we were watching House of David, and then a commercial came out because we don't pay for the full Prime.
Right.
So we have the commercials on with Prime. And it was really interesting because there was like a Trafalgar commercial that came up, and I was looking at it and I was like, that ain't real humans. Like
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
weird. And I was like, this looks like, does this feel like AI? And my mom said the same thing, and I looked it up on my phone, and it literally said that Trafalgar used like AI for their commercial, and I was
That's
like,
crazy.
that's crazy. They're already starting to do it in the industry. It's kind of scary actually as a filmmaker, is like how much jobs will there be left? But
Yeah.
yeah, CGI. I mean, I also did see Cats. I don't know if you guys remember this movie Cats, but
Oh, I heard it was not the best.
No, I
Okay, so I'm
didn't
gonna
see
guess you
that,
didn't
but
see it, and I think it's good that you guys didn't
It
see
got
it.
a really
okay.
low
Yeah,
rating.
that's
I
all I
remember
need to
that.
The
know.
only reason my family went to go see it is because my sister and I's like and my mom like we're all like musical theater lovers. So my mom really wanted to go see Cats, and my dad like was like, "Yeah, let's go see Cats." And I actually didn't want to see Cats. I wanted to see Little Women when it first came out. The Greta Gerwig like adaptation of Little Women, and so but then my whole family voted on Cats, and I'm like, "Okay, let's go see Cats." It was so bad, guys.
Yeah, I
It was just
remember.
creepy. I also saw the unfinished version. Apparently, there was an unfinished version, like where they had like shoes on and stuff, and apparently they forgot to CG that some of that stuff out, or
Oh
they
my
I don't know, I don't
goodness.
remember that. And then my dad was hilarious though when I watched Cats because he was crying during it and saying how great of a film it was. And my sister and my mom and I were all just like jaws were open, like what was that? What was that? Like, it needed to stick on the stage, not film, not for film.
Yeah.
Or at least,
Yikes.
yeah, because they tried to like CGI the people to look like cats, and it just didn't turn out
Didn't
really
do well.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Have you, so that's
yeah.
kind of how I feel. I don't know if you've watched like Avatar, The Last Airbender, like the TV show,
Oh,
the
like the live
cartoon.
action one?
Well, so there was a cartoon
Yeah.
when I was a kid that I watched, and I rewatched it as an adult. Like it's still probably one of my favorite shows. But they had a movie that came out like I think in 2011 or something. And my dad, I saw it with my family. My dad did not watch the original cartoon. If you ever like, if anyone's watched the
Okay.
original cartoon out there, they know exactly what I'm talking about. If you watch the original cartoon and then watch the movie is objectively horrible.
Yeah.
Like this,
Okay.
there's like this there. So like the have you seen it? I can like explain kind
I
of like
I
the
can't
premise
remember
of it.
seeing I know the TV
Like
like the
the Netflix series you've
cartoon
probably
one.
seen.
I did watch the Netflix one, like the new
Okay.
one that came out. Like the I
The
guess like the
Netflix does a
2023.
much better job of like
Yeah,
the CGI in it, like actually making like the elemental powers look powerful and fluid. But
right.
in
Yeah.
the movie, there's literally like a scene where there are like four guys like just wailing their arms about and like pushing, and they're just literally moving like a small rock like 3 miles
Oh
per hour
no.
through the air. Like that
Oh
was
no.
the CGI for the movie.
It's
And
almost like the Indian Bollywood movies where the person's just
Oh,
floating in the air and it's like very horribly done.
yeah, but it's funny because my dad was like, that movie was amazing. I'm like, you're just saying this because you haven't seen the
yeah.
cartoon. This is not good. Trust
It's
me.
that's actually funny when your parents watch because like they probably grew up like watching technology advance like
Mhm.
fully too. Like my dad's a boomer, so like he remember when 2001 Space Odyssey came out. And I actually have a funny story about that movie because I had to watch it for one of my classes and I made my dad watch it with me because I was like, no way am I watching this by myself. Like, I think it's like I can't remember how long the movie is. Have you guys seen A Space Odyssey?
I've seen parts, but no, I've
No.
not seen the whole thing.
Okay. I don't know how to describe this film. There was like the gorilla scene at the beginning. You probably have seen that with like the
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know how to describe it. But my dad remembers watching it because it was like a space movie and it was like a huge movie back then because the technology was so advanced and stuff in film. And my dad watched it again with me, and after we finished watching it, all he said was, I remember it so differently.
Yeah.
That's so fair. It is
Yeah.
weird, like when you like you get that nostalgia block on like a movie or something, and you remember it being so good, and then you
So good.
watch it, and you're like, "Oh, watch this! This is gonna be so good." And you're like, "Oh man, why did I
Yeah.
do this? This is awful." So
It,
Yeah, you kind of just have to hold on to the initial feeling that you
yeah,
got. Because
it's kind
like
of
as
like,
time
yeah.
progresses, then you realize, wow, like this does not look as good as I remember
yeah,
it
it didn't
looking.
hold up, or
No.
yeah,
It's
or it's
kind of
just
like,
terrible, and you loved it for whatever
yeah,
reason.
That's how I feel with,
yeah.
and this might be like a controversial hot take. That's how I feel with Shark Boy and Lava Girl. That
That's
Oh,
movie,
fair.
That was one of the greatest movies
Or
ever as a
Spy
kid.
Kids.
And then
Yeah.
I watched it like a couple of years ago and I was like, what?
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
not,
remember it looking like this. That's kind of crazy.
so,
But holding on to that initial feeling, it's still an amazing
It's still amazing. I think I think like all those Disney shows, like when we were younger, it just seemed really good because we were young and we probably didn't really know any better. And then when you
movie.
watch it as like an adult, it's different.
Yeah.
But
like,
I still feel I still feel like it's the greatest thing ever. Like
Yeah,
Sharkboy and
exactly.
Lava Girl, you're right, was the greatest film ever. And we love Taylor Lautner in it. Like, come on.
like even like Twilight, I feel like the acting in that was so dry if I go back to that. Like I watched that the other day and I was like, why is he like why is he talking like that? Like or like why is there like an over exasperated
Yeah.
gasp when there doesn't need to be? Like it's like
And I think Robert, is it Robert Pattinson? I'm so
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah, Robert Pattinson. I think there was like a story that was told that he actually didn't want to be in the film because he felt and knew how bad it was going to be
Oh
or
really?
something like that. But
Matt,
like people took it so well that they just, because of the books, I guess they all loved the series. But when you look at it, yeah, the acting, Kristen Stewart, I mean, is a greater actor in other films, but in Twilight, it was just a little
I think it
awkward.
was just really dramatic. I think it
Yeah.
was just like everything was so serious and it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We actually did a in my second year class, we did a scene recreation with Minecraft because it
Hmm.
was all COVID, so it was just a way for us to adapt. So
Uh-huh.
my friend played Minecraft a lot and was like, "What if we did a scene recreation of Edward telling like what's her name in the
Bella.
movie? Bella, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so bad with names. Oh my
No,
gosh.
you're good. You're good.
Edward telling Bella that he's a vampire, and we used Minecraft,
That
like
is impressive.
building, and we filmed it because you can film in Minecraft, I
That
guess.
is
And
so awesome.
all I did was voiced I think I voiced, I can't remember, I think I voiced Bella, and we then showed it in our, it was like our live TV streaming class. It was so weird. It was a bad time, guys. It was COVID. Like, I don't even know if I learned that much in film school because it was all on my computer that much. Well, my first two like years was all on my computer. Last two was a bit better and I got to be in person, but it was just funny because you talking about Twilight, I just remember that. Yeah, I did recreate one of the Twilight
That's
scenes.
that's lit. That's awesome. That's
It
I'm
wasn't
not
my idea, but I was just in that group project.
I think I played Minecraft like twice, which is like I'm in the big minority there. But
One more time than me.
really, so
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah,
I
so
know
I know
nothing
people.
about Minecraft, so I had no idea how to use it.
Okay,
You guys
so
beat
you
me to
fit it right
it.
in. Yeah. Yeah, so I know people that are really big into it and can build like
Mhm.
crazy stuff. I am awful. I'm so bad at Minecraft, but
Yeah, props to those people.
for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely the creators in the world, just not me.
Yeah, yeah. I spent my time playing Fortnite or something else that was just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks for being on. We appreciate you. We can pray out, and then if you have any questions or anything or something that
Yeah,
you want to address beforehand, but yeah, yeah, we can dive into prayer real quick.
yeah, for sure.
Father God, we thank you. We just ask you to just be with us, guide and direct our hearts, lead us on a path that you want us to follow, and pray that our ears are open and our mouths are closed, and we just hear your voice and let it be a lamp to our feet, Heavenly Father. We thank you for all the blessings and all the things that you've done and the things that you continue to pour out into us. I pray for all the listeners and whatever trials or tribulations that they might be going through, that you are there with their hearts and you guide and direct them and use them in ways that are beyond our means. We thank you. We love you, Lord, and all that you do. In your heavenly name we pray. Amen.
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 Amen. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
It was actually a lot of fun. I was so nervous.
Actually, so are you starting to, were
No,
you
no, I'm
like,
joking.
I'm
I knew it
kidding.
was
I'm
gonna be
kidding.
fun. I knew it was gonna be fun. You guys are great. It was also amazing meeting you both.
Yeah.
Now I can
Yeah.
say I also have more United States friends, so
Hey, there you go.
you can say
Absolutely.
you have a Canadian friend now if you guys ever come to Canada.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's true.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Have you guys been to Canada before? No?
Uh,
No.
no, I have a lot of friends who went to school in
Mm-hmm.
Canada. Um, so I guess halfway, yes. I have
Halfway,
Canadian
halfway.
friends, but no, I'd like to go though. Is it true that Canada is always cold? Or like, does it actually get really hot in the summers?
This summer, I feel like it's more just global warming, but like the summer is getting like hotter. Like we've gone up to like 31 to 32 degree weather, which is
Oh
pretty
yeah, you
Oh,
cool.
guys use Celsius
that's
too.
Like
so,
we love it.
oh, okay. You're
Yeah.
like, that's
Oh yeah.
freezing. What are you
You guys
talking
felt
about?
sorry. But the winter, I don't recommend coming to during the winter. If you're gonna go to, if you're gonna come to Canada in the winter, go to Banff because at least it's pretty and there's mountains. If you
Damn.
come to Ontario in the winter, it's just depressing, and it's just traffic and a lot of snow, and you're trying to drive in
Yeah.
the snow is not
Because
fun.
our winters are
So,
pretty cold too, but I think the difference with us is the reason why we're like tornado central is because of one day it could be freezing, the other day it's really warm, and then that is
uh,
what creates all
yeah,
the
that's what
storms.
creates it.
But
Yeah.
so when it does snow, the snow doesn't stay on the road like often. But I feel like
No.
in probably in an area like Canada,
And always
because it's
stays.
just continuously cold, it stays forever.
Yeah, it stays. And we've had piles of snow. We've like, it's not also fun when you're in a rush to go to work and you
Yeah.
realize you have snow on your car and then you have to take time
Oh
to scrape
yeah,
off your
yeah.
car. So it's fun to always have that excuse when you get to work though, because it's like, oh, I had to scrape off my car. So,
My boss originally from Canada now lives in Miami, Florida. And she's like, "Oh, it's so nice not to have chains on my car, like my tires, or wear like shoes with spikes in them because of the ice and
oh
stuff." I'm like,
yeah.
these are problems I never would have had
Yeah.
to like
Yeah,
thought
I
of.
would yeah, yeah. It's I grew up in Canada, so I grew up with the snow. But when I went to Florida for the first time with my whole family, it was a difference and I fell in love with Florida. I was like, "Oh my
It's like,
gosh,
take
it's so
me
warm.
back.
There's beaches." I saw people surfing for the first time. I was like, "This is what life is like here." I go outside and it's like minus something degrees, like minus like zero, and I'm having to put all these layers on and try to be happy in the snow. I'm not a sporty person too, so I feel like people that are into like winter sports might get joy from it, but
Mm.
I'm not into winter sports. Like I hate skating, I hate like anything to do with winter sports, so it feels more
You were
depressing
in
during
the
the winter.
wrong area then.
Yeah.
Like, I
I'm in
don't
the
like
wrong area.
winter.
I've always I always told my parents if I lived in Hawaii, I would have probably pursued surfing. Like
Yeah.
Bethany Hamilton. Like I would have been a surfer. Like
That's
because
awesome.
I love the
That's so
water.
cool.
So I'm like, I'm definitely born in the wrong area.
Yeah.
But no, I'm still grateful where God planted me though, guys. Still grateful. Gotta
That's
still be
awesome.
That's
grateful where
good.
God
That's so
planted you.
cool.
So yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I hope the intro was okay. I feel like I rambled way too much than what my intro should have been.
No, it
Yeah.
definitely interested us. So I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like it'll
yeah. You're
Okay,
definitely
fine.
yeah.
interest
I didn't know
others.
how to start. I was like, do I just talk about like film or if you guys wanted like more of like my like testimonial stuff before like of Chris becoming Christian, I guess. I don't know.
No
But
judgment over
no
here. Like, you've
judgment.
done
Okay.
really good. So, um,
Thanks, guys.
yeah, we
It was
appreciate you having
fun.
on. So,
I appreciate you guys for inviting me. This was really fun.
absolutely.
So,
I'll have to reach out to Bruce and send him the episode or whatever else and be like, hey, we did it. So,
Thanks, Bruce. This was
Yeah,
so
for
cute,
sure,
which
for
is
sure.
incredible. Because honestly, if I hadn't like emailed him, we wouldn't have met. So look at how
Yeah.
the way,
Yeah, I know.
God works and stuff.
It's
So
honestly pretty wild because yeah, it's the
yeah.
same situation. If I wouldn't have reached out, we wouldn't
Hmm.
have had him on, and then if I wouldn't have
Yeah.
asked for a referral, we wouldn't be having this. So
Yeah.
super
Do you
cool.
guys have that episode done? I should actually watch it.
Yeah, we do have it
Mhm.
out there.
Do you know which one it is? Which episode?
19, 20. I think it's 19. Please tell me.
Wow, we
Okay.
have a lot of
I
episodes.
think it's 19. I'm gonna double
It's good
check.
that you guys are doing this. How did you guys start? Like, why did you guys wanted to start a podcast?
18.
So he was just thinking about starting a podcast. I think
Mm-hmm.
for a couple of years he wanted to start one,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but he didn't know who to start it with. And then his
Mm.
fiance told him, like, why don't you start it with Aaron? And then he reached out to me. He's like,
I think
hey,
yeah, like 30 minutes after that, I just texted him, like, you want to do a podcast? He's like, sure. I was like, okay.
I love that. How did you guys meet? Like, are you guys we go to the same church stuff? Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, the church that we go to is the Hub, like in Independence.
Mhm.
It stands for His United Body. And I think a couple months after I moved here, the pastor started a young adults Bible study. Um, so I would go to that every week. That's where I met his fiance, and he was in Iowa
Yep.
at the time. But after a few months, like a few months after the young adult Bible study started, he moved here. That's
Yep.
how I met him. And then I think yeah, we
Discipleship.
did discipleship. We started discipleship a couple months after that. And then near the end of discipleship is when we started the podcast. So
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was just one of those things. It's pretty cool too, because like my whole, like for, gosh, probably 4 years, me and one of my buddies, we're gonna do this sports podcast. We're gonna do this and we just like had this mentality. And then finally I was like, it just never was aligning. And then like the more Aaron and I would do podcasts, the more faith centered it just started to go like more
yeah, if you
into.
were to listen to like our earliest episodes, there's some faith in it for sure. Like we talk about our relationship with God or whatever's happening in our life like at
Hmm.
that time. But a lot of it is us just nerding out with
Yeah,
anime or video games or
it's just
whatever.
I
definitely a
love it.
bros
And I,
podcast.
I remember, I remember telling him we need to get to the point where we have like the actual like timestamps so that people
Can
who are
skip
yeah,
back.
people who are listening to it might only care about the faith aspect. They might not want to listen to 45 minutes of
Us
anime
ranting about some
nerdiness.
Yeah.
random nerd thing. So
But
yeah,
yeah, this year
Do you
especially
guys
following.
edit? Are you guys gonna edit this, by the way?
for sure.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I edit
okay.
the podcast.
I'm sorry if I said a lot. I say that sometimes
Oh
too
well,
much, and I was
you're
trying
fine.
so hard
I,
not to
I
say
probably say like and
Yeah,
way too
I
much.
think it's our generation, honestly. People say, "Wow, your generation loves the word like," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh."
My mom used to get on to me a lot for saying like
Mhm.
if I said that too many times, she would just stop and start counting them, and then she would tell me how many I did, and then it was like a get better type of
Yeah,
situation. I was
get
like,
better.
ah, like, it's so embarrassing. Like
Yeah.
13, really? Like, okay, sorry.
Okay, sorry, I
You're
say sorry a lot, so I'm Canadian, so I have that excuse that I'm allowed to say
just
sorry.
genuinely nice, right? Isn't that the
Yeah, you're
stereotype?
just like,
I wish
honestly, I
America got a stereotype like that. Like, you're just really nice. Like, that'd be cool.
Well, some Canadians are. I don't know. I feel like there's a mixture.
For
But
sure.
it's hilarious because I did catch myself saying sorry to someone one time, which didn't make sense why I was saying sorry. I think I was holding the door even open for them. Like one of those random scenarios where I'm like, why am I even saying sorry? Like, why am I apologizing for this?
It's funny.
So, yeah, and my friends are also the same too, so I feel less alone when that
Nice. You have your
comes.
little group where you can, yeah, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I love when I come to America though, and I wear like a little Canadian flag just to be like, "Hey, guys, I'm Canadian."
By the way, I'm Canadian.
I'm
That-
Canadian.
We the
That's
Like,
North.
cool.
yeah. Well,
That's cool.
Disney, you guys, I have to say United States knows how to entertain people. Going to Disneyland, like Disney
Mm.
World for the first time in Florida, it was an experience, and we
See,
don't
I've
have
never
anything like
been.
that. We got Canada's Wonderland, so if you guys do come to Canada, you got Canada's Wonderland to go and
Is it
enjoy.
pretty good?
You're not doing a great job at
It's
advertising.
more
Yeah,
roller
you're not
coaster.
making. We know you're not making commission for it, so.
I know, but the roller coasters are fun. They're amazing. The show's different level compared to what you guys put on. I'm just gonna say that. So you guys have a
Yeah.
lot of talented people, and but I mean, yes, Canada has talented people, but you guys really know how to put on a like
That's
show,
cool.
like entertain wise. So yeah.
I've never been in Disneyland or World, so I would love to.
I've been
Really? Then
I've
you
been
guys,
to
that's
He
so cool.
has. He has.
You
yo,
have?
yeah,
I
I mean I lived in Florida while I was in college and my
Right, right.
family
So
used
you've
to
had
vacation
to,
in
if you'd
Florida.
lived
the
in Florida
only
and not
American,
gone, I would
you
have been
know.
like, what? You lived in
Yeah.
Florida and didn't go to Walt, like Disney, like,
No,
yeah.
No
yeah.
one born in
I definitely went
America.
to Disney World and there's another one called Universal Studios. That's my personal favorite.
Right. I'm so sad my family didn't end up going to Universal Studios because I wanted to go see like the Harry Potter like world a
Oh
little bit
yeah.
just to see what it's like because I see it so
It's
much on
so
TikTok.
cool. Like, especially if you've watched
Yeah.
those movies, like it feels like you're just stepping into Hogwarts or
Mhm.
Hogsmeade, Diagon Alley. And they came up with like a newer park last year, Epic Universe, that has another, I think it's the Ministry of Magic. Um,
Yeah, yeah, okay. I
so
saw
yeah,
some
it's
videos
really
on
good.
TikTok where people are like doing tours and stuff, and it's fun to watch because it's like, whoa, what's this going? But yeah, no. Um, well, thank you guys.
Of
And
Yeah,
course.
thank
Thank
you.
reach out
you.
if you guys ever decide to come to Toronto area.
Yeah,
It
for
Yeah.
is
sure. You
still a
can
great
give it.
city. It's beautiful in the summer. Don't come during the winter.
Got it.
Yeah.
If you're coming to Canada during the winter, go to Banff because at least it's pretty there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm noting it
Yeah.
down. That's awesome.
And
Well,
bring lots of layers.
Yes.
I've definitely been told that.
Yeah.
I've definitely been told
Yes.
that. So
A lot of international students that I've like worked with too when I was in college, like they realized how many layers they needed, and yeah, it's a shocker.
Yeah.
It's like a yeah, an open refrigerator. I don't know how to like
that's crazy.
it's
Uh,
cold.
I don't like that. I lived in
Yeah.
Iowa, which is like 2 states northeast of Kansas, and that was like getting too cold for me. I can't
Yeah.
imagine like being 5 states, 6 states north of Kansas, and like being in a whole different
It,
tropical Antarctica. Like,
we
yeah,
basically live in igloos, guys. Come on.
yeah, for real, it's crazy. I cannot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Oh
thanks
my
so much,
goodness.
guys. So.
But yeah, well, thank you again. We appreciate you, Kelsey. This was awesome. We had a great recording and it was super fun and just raw, and I like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was very rock, guys.
no, no, that's super
But I
good.
loved it. I was happy that I did. I felt a little like I was trying to prepare myself a little bit, but I was happy that I didn't too much prepare myself because I think it was all natural and the Lord was working through it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what I've
absolutely.
noticed, like with guests, like especially here lately. Like the more that I over prepare, the more nervous I get. And like
Mhm.
when I just get like the brief synopsis, it allows me to just like run with things where I don't like overthink. So
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
my bread and butter, but I don't know how much that's worth. So,
No, it's
but
good.
yeah.
You guys, I also wanted to comment. You guys are great interviewers too. So
Oh,
you
thank
Yeah.
guys
you.
have great
That's pretty.
questions, very insightful questions too. So
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
awesome. Well, all right. We appreciate you. I'll let you
yeah.
have a good rest of your night or whatever
Yeah.
time zone, I guess.
Oh, it's like
Funny
9
hour
here.
in.
Is it just an hour? See, all right.
I'm probably gonna get ready to go to sleep now. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You have a good night then.
Yeah, you guys too. Thank you so much.
thank you. All
Yeah.
right.
Bye. And let me know
Bye.
when the episode's ready. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll definitely send it to you.
thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.